Hello guys and welcome to your very first HTML tutorial. I'm going to be your tutor. You can call me Tech Titan. Now, what is HTML? HTML, as the name goes, stands for Hypertext Markup Language. HTML is not a programming language. HTML is a markup language. Now, HTML is the backbone of a website in the sense that almost every website you see was created using HTML. So HTML's main function is to structure the contents of the web page. So HTML consists of elements which sometimes we refer to as tags. They wrap around contents. Now these elements tell the browser what the content is. We'll have some elements like the heading elements, the paragraph elements, image elements, and links, and so on and so forth. So let's look at the heading element. The first heading we're going to be discussing about is H1, which is actually the first heading. So this is the opening H1 tag, and this is the closing H1 tag. Now, what's the difference between the opening and closing tag? If you look at the opening tag, we just have H1 contained in this less than and greater than sign, and then in the closing tag we have H1, but then there is a slash, a forward slash before H1. So that's the major difference between an opening tag and a closing tag. Now, CSS. CSS, as the name goes, stands for Cascading Style Sheets. Style sheet in the sense that CSS is used to style your web page. CSS is not a programming language, rather it is a styling language, and CSS is used to control the layout and visual styling of a web page. It is used to add colors. For example, in your web page, you don't expect your work to be plain white and black. That's black text on a white background. So sometimes you would want your work to be very colorful, and CSS does that. It beautifies the contents of the HTML or the contents of the web page. Now, it also adds fonts, it adds spacing to the text, and so on and so forth. So CSS consists of rules which we call styles. CSS has styles, and those styles are applied to the HTML elements. Now, these rules are made up of selectors and properties. These selectors tell us what elements to style, and the properties tells us what style to apply. For example, this code right here, H1 is the rule, which is what elements to style. We are styling H1. Remember, in our HTML, we introduce this element H1. Then in our CSS, we will style it by first of all selecting it. So the rule is made up of a selector, which is selecting that element we have already initiated, and then properties, which is what style should we apply to these elements. Here we have color blue, so it tells us to apply the color blue to this particular element. And also we have font size 36 pixels. PX stands for pixels. Thank you. So font size 36 pixels tells us that the size of this text contained in H1 tag should be 36 pixels in size. Now, if you look at this code, whenever you are introducing a CSS command, first of all, you impute the name of the element, you open this brace. This is called braces. You introduce your braces. This is the open brace and this is the closing brace. So you introduce that, then you give in the command followed with a colon. So the command is color. We want to apply color to our tag, to our element rather. To the HTML text. Then we introduce colon after that. Then what color do you want to apply? We want to apply the color blue. So followed by a semicolon. A semicolon closes that command. So we are done with this color command. Then we'll go to another command, which is font size. So font size, then colon. Then what font size should we apply? 36. After applying that, you close it with a semicolon. So that's how CSS works. Now, think of HTML and CSS as, think of it like building a house. HTML is the frame and walls. That's the structure of that house. While CSS is the interior design and decoration applied to the house. So HTML and CSS work hand in hand to create a beautiful and functional website. Thank you guys, and see you in the next video.